So I'm still racist, but I love Pepsi. So, like, baby steps, you know.
Wire fraud. Human trafficking.
That's right.
Theft.
The wheels, like, punctured.
How do you crucify a car?
Insert racist comment about the destroyed infrastructure here.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you an emergency broadcast. Strap in for a new episode of Barnzey Burns Down the World.
Welcome back to Barnzey Burns Down the World. Today I'm joined by a guest who has achieved many great things in their very short life. They have participated in negotiations for Taiwan. They've won the first 100-meter race representing as an Aboriginal woman. And they've been to the moon. Please welcome... I almost said your full name. Jimmy Carr.
What will you say instead?
Well, now I have to beep it. So I would have said... No, I'm not going to beep it. I would have said your full name. I was in my head mentally there.
I like that.
First, middle, last.
Fuck.
Straight in. Never used your middle name before.
At this address.
And I'll be like, this time, fuck it. I'm going to just throw it in there and dox you. No, it's just Tom. And it's just Tom. That's who I'm joined by today. So,
are we rolling now?
Yeah, now we're rolling. Now we're in. So,
well, none of that stuff is true.
No, it's all 100% true.
That's right.
How's it going with China and Taiwan?
I think it's fine.
You think it's fine?
It's probably fine.
It's probably
I'm
fine.
an expert on the subject, you see.
Of course you are.
You should always listen to me about it. And I think that you may have me confused with your next guest.
My next guest.
Well, he is the Minister of Relations between China and Taiwan.
Do you know the guy's name?
Minister.
Mr. Minister.
Mr. Minister. Do you have me... He also was an astronaut.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was also an astronaut.
Yes.
Do you think maybe you've confused me with
It's
her?
entirely possible that this whole
But maybe not.
was just jumbled up and organised at the very last second.
Nah.
Entirely possible.
I'm pretty sure we've been pretty organised with this.
Always organised.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I've been on the podcast in a while.
No, it's been at this
months?
rate, like 2 months.
Yeah, something like that.
So we've got a lot planned, more or less. No tablet.
I have a story I've been saving.
Yeah, we either have to podcast more regularly to get these stories out, so you're not holding on for 3 months.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Although, that being said, if the most recent episode that we've done was 2 months ago, then you just held on to it or forgot for that 1 month period.
I've been waiting, and I've got notes that I've been taking.
That's good. Yeah, I ask all my astronaut Olympian ministers to take notes.
That's right.
All one of them.
Uh-huh. That's right. Now, speaking of,
yeah,
in China, there was a 200-car pile-up on a highway.
That's too many cars.
200-car pile-up.
It's too many.
It was and 6 dead in the 200-car pile-up. I'm like, that's pretty good. Those are pretty good.
In terms of statistics, 6 dead.
That's 3%.
That's pretty good.
That's car crash fatality 3%. Okay, all right, okay, it's decent.
So what was the actual? Okay, look, there's a race joke. There's
About Asian drivers and
then
Chinese
there's an age
drivers.
joke. So I think the only reason this happened was because it was a elderly Asian woman driving the car.
I do like that, but there is that whole thing about how in China there is way too many men compared to women because of the one-child policy, and they'll just kill all the daughters. So now there's 100 million more men than women, or 50 million more men than women.
So I do actually know that there's because of that what is it? Disparity? Is that the word?
One-child policy disparity.
No, the disparity between male and female.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of that, there's a fucked dating culture where men going to work from ages 18 to 30 are completely content with their dating simulators on the DS. So they're if you imagine those incredibly packed trains, one carriage is completely full of dudes in suits, and they're all in their mind they're trying to bang this small Asian woman all in the DS. All the same. Yeah.
Is this real?
Yeah.
That's
so it's dating games are so incredibly popular because of that disparity between male and female citizens, because of the one-child policy.
Yeah.
That just the whole dating culture is fucked.
Yeah.
I think
That's Same with a lot of Asian countries, like Japan and Korea are pretty similar, I think.
But China's still 1 billion strong, yeah?
No, 1.4.
Yeah, and not for long.
No.
Foreshadowing.
That's right, foreshadowing. It's going to be way more or way less.
Yeah. Let's. What more stirring up can we do?
Oh, well, that was just from the 200 car pile-up.
How did two? Okay. 100 cars, I understand. 200, too many.
How? What do you mean?
Well, okay. Have you ever seen what? So is there photos of this pile-up?
I'll see when I get it up.
So 100 car pile-up. People don't really know what 100 look like. They do, but 100 cars is a lot.
Yeah.
200 is twice as many.
200 car pile-up.
China. Where was China? Yeah.
I don't need to. It's late. It's very late. It was like a week ago. Insane photos show 200 vehicle massive pile-up in China. My God.
Let's take a look. Imagine being that guy in the middle. You can't see from there, can you?
I can.
This guy, right there.
Yeah.
See him? Right there.
Yeah. You see?
You don't have to repeat the thing that I said because I knew you'd get it. Right? We're a bit low energy, but we're fixing this. This podcast is sponsored officially by Pepsi.
That's true. 100% official. They reached out.
They did.
And
I signed something. I don't know what I signed.
could have nothing to do with them.
Only chumps read the contract.
We're drinking Pepsi and documents were signed.
Pepsi Max. Strictly Pepsi Max, actually.
I like regular Pepsi.
Really? Better?
I'm indifferent.
So, actually, other than that contract, the only reason I drink Pepsi is because of that Kylie Jenner ad.
Well, that's why everyone drinks it. No one there was like 3 people that drank it because of like that Transformers ad or something.
Yeah, it was something like Pepsi Bot or something.
Well, I was personally a racist.
Yes.
True, I was a very racist person. It's very unfortunate.
You were a racist person, or you still are?
Well, I was. And then I watched this ad with Kylie Jenner and with the Pepsi, and
They
came.
Just rethink your life, I guess.
So I'm still racist, but I love Pepsi. So, like baby steps, It all right, what was this job supposed to be?
Clear and straight. You're just like, you have to slow out. Can you, for nefarious purposes, can you say that slower and clearer for me?
Why for your intro?
Perhaps.
Meet the podcast. But then you've literally just got like this person racist, this person racist, this person racist. It's just racist.
We're all racist.
No, but it is I do like this. There's both those sorts of ads, like the Kylie Jenner and those what are those virtue signaling ones?
The ones where it's like, hey, like this product, if you buy it, will fix your social problems.
Well, my bigger problem, and I have a much further issue with ads, being ones that you don't know what the product or service is until the very end when it puts up a logo.
Yeah.
So
for a while there in that ad, I thought it was variety. Like, I was fully set. I was gonna buy the full like the knee pads.
I had the
shin
card up on
guards.
Amazon.
Yeah. See, the helmet was already my wish list. I was 3 seconds away from clicking purchase, and then Kylie Jenner came out with a can of Pepsi, and I was like, you know what? I should change my drink of choice.
That's right. From what?
From
Water.
From water. Yeah.
That's right.
It's like, I need to be more considerate of just the entire social climate. So I will change my healthy drinking choice into a capitalistic drinking choice by only buying Pepsi now and endorsing them fully.
I think that's a good call. I think it's a great call. But it brings me back to the scene where it was the biggest contributor to this sort of ad thing, with you just don't know what the product is until the very end, is Apple in cinemas. Mm-hmm. So you go to the cinemas, you see an ad of people just running around, not even taking pictures of stuff sometimes, just people having a good time. Same with Telstra. And then
oh no, I know it's a Telstra ad because they play that stupid. Like,
but then the very end, then it will be like Apple, and it's like,
yeah,
come on.
Actually, there was an advertisement. They turned the comments off on YouTube because it was getting so much fucking backlash. So it was basically this little girl hipster person, and she's using an iPad for everything in her life. Okay. So she's like going through the shops. She's, I don't know, drawing, leisure activities, all that shit. And towards the end of the ad, she's in the backyard, and the neighbor like peeks out of the fence and you go, "Oh, what are you doing on your computer?" And she turns to the camera and she's like, "What's a computer?" And the whole purpose of the ad is showing like how this
It's going to replace.
is going to replace the computer. Everybody disagreed. Literally everyone.
What do you mean disagreed?
Like, the whole idea behind, this is going to replace the computer.
Well, it is a computer.
Well, they were showing... I'm trying to think more about what the ad showed. I guess it was showing people struggling with one thing. I could be completely wrong about this, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
But people showing, you could do this with a computer. And it's actually better on an iPad. Wrong.
Right.
They were just trying to say, hey, look how good this is.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah, no.
But then people started attacking this little lipstick girl.
They started attacking a little girl?
yeah, just this little girl. She's like this 9-year-old chick. And, they had to turn off comments for that because the harassment was getting bad.
And who released this? This was an Apple ad.
This was an Apple ad
Yeah.
saying, hey, our stuff is so much better. It's going to replace what's already been a staple in households for 20 years. That's how confident we are. They were wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I know, but that fair enough. And so this would have been old though. This would have been.
Oh, this was a couple of years ago.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So I've got a story. Hold on for a little bit. So I sent to you a while ago. It was pictures of. It was pictures of like a bogged car off the side of this driveway.
I remember this.
It's a very funny story.
Okay. So normally, funny stories will speak for themselves. So I give people this shit too because I take this criticism on for myself. Don't say it's a funny story. Say it's a good story.
Or rephrase, it's a terrible story and
okay.
lower all of your expectations.
Fantastic.
Great.
Because I know the reaction you want me to do is to laugh and find it amusing. It helps if you don't tell me to do it.
But if I'm telling you it's a terrible story, so I don't
Why
expect you to laugh.
say it? Like,
Horrible story. It's boring. If you're a listener, you should stop listening.
Don't say that. Don't tell people to turn off the podcast.
Go away.
All right, let's go. Let's hear your story.
Okay. So it was basically the least disabled-friendly property in the world.
Mm-hmm.
There was a warning when we went to stay there that said, right, this driveway is very inaccessible. It's very difficult. We're like, no, we'll be fine.
So like the very small writing. If you're in a wheelchair, you should kill yourself.
Literally. So it's like, if you want to park at the bottom of the hill, no shame. Like, absolutely not. So drive up.
Except for the woman with the bell.
Well, but another quick thing about the property, real quick, is that in this that we were staying is there was only these big metal staircases to get to the rooms. That's what I mean by it was very, very not disabled friendly. Like you could not stay there. You need a little thing to hoist them up. It would be a whole thing.
Even elderly, like unfriendly towards anyone over 40.
Well, so there was a point when we were reversing, and my partner said, was just struggling to get out. So I was like, okay, well, and this is the first time we stayed there. So I'm like, would you want me to drive down it? I'm like, and she's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. So I drive, and we go down, and that's fine. And then we get to go. We come back, and I'm invited to go golfing with these groomsmen. Half invite myself, but also want to go. So that's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
I want to quickly do a side bit on golfing before we'll get into the story. I fucking hate golf.
You hate golf?
Kind of.
Oh. Well, golf's not really involved in this story.
Yes, I know. However, I want to put it out there completely. Public forum. Forum, video, more or less. I'm better than you.
At the driving range, you were at a point naturally more skilled. Very true.
Yeah. And I fucking hated it.
No.
I don't enjoy it at all.
I think that I'm better now, but I've had a lot. I've inherently practiced a lot.
We should go. I haven't been since.
I don't have clubs here.
No. Like not right now, but in general, we should go. And I reckon I'm still better.
Great, I would love that.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's the thing. I don't even want to call it a sport.
Then don't go.
I don't even want to call golf a sport.
Okay, well, it's a great sport.
It's not a sport.
Golf is an excellent sport. Name one sport that's better than golf.
Probably soccer.
How?
You're right. It's pretty shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, not a good example. Soccer, sir.
There's almost as much action in soccer No, actually, there's more action there. No, cricket.
Is worse.
Correct.
Yes.
Was that not my point?
Name one sport that's better than golf.
Oh, I guess probably basketball.
Why?
See, I don't like many sports in general.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just, I happen to be better than you at golf. You like golf, I don't.
That doesn't hurt my feelings. That's
It
fine. Should it?
It's like, you should be angry.
I should. Oh, I'm furious.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you should be furious.
So, I go golfing at 8 o'clock in the morning. So good to drive. The shocker is, I was the one driving the car.
Oh, no.
And I let you believe for months that it wasn't me. It was a prank.
Gonna be honest, kind of forgot.
Still. At the time the comment was made, I was like, I'll let it slide. I'll just get it. Like, I didn't say it was or wasn't. He just assumed it was a woman driving. And I'm going to let him keep that assumption.
I see an accident on the road. You assume it's a woman.
That's right. So, I'm basically just trying to reverse down, and the back wheel just goes off of this thing, and I'm like, oh shit. And it's turning whilst it's doing basically a 90-degree turn, whilst going down like a 90-degree angle, or like an 80-degree angle, something
so if you
insane.
were to drive, so if it's going up, it's fine.
It's like this.
Yeah.
So you're turning backwards and reversing whilst going down.
Can you not do that?
It is generally a lot more difficult than you'd think to actually go down. And there was a lot of accidents there before, which is why the owners of the property warned and said,
Well, I have reason to believe that you are good at driving,
I think I'm okay.
and yet you can't do this.
So one, it wasn't my car.
Mm-hmm.
It was my car. I would have felt more confidence car. I haven't really drove before.
That's probably also why I assume that you weren't responsible.
It was also a sedan because it was the mother's car.
Okay.
So I'm reversing. The back wheel goes off. I'm like, I can get myself out of this. I'll be fine. I'll be sweet. I can make it to the golf. No worries. And then I'm just getting myself out. And then the front wheel on the other side goes off. I'm like, maybe I can get myself out. Maybe I can't. But I don't want to damage the car in the meantime, so I'll leave it. So we call the RACV. And they're like, no, there was no way you could have possibly. This isn't even a bog job.
Yeah.
It was called a recovery job.
Is it really?
So yeah, it was like, if it was like there was mud here and it was slick and the dirt was soft there, then no worries. But because half of the car just isn't on the ground, you could reverse, put the wheels on as much as you want. It's not going anywhere.
There are photos of this, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll blur the number plate.
I can get them too.
Good. I think I can get a hold of them in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No number plate, but yeah. And basically, and it was really sketchy because the guy's like, yeah, so with this, because you've got the insurance, it would be like a $600 fee on top of it. But because you got the insurance, it's $300.
Oh, thank fuck.
Yeah.
That's
so
why I pay so much for insurance, to then pay so much to fix simple mistakes.
it was like just to pull it out, the car out.
How, if you got a car with a hook, just...
Literally. So, but the reason it was sketchy, and the dude was very lovely, he was very nice, it's just the car OCV's policies or whatever it was regarding it.
That's what they all say. No, I'm just following orders.
Right, I was a bit
He's
suspicious.
literally a Nazi.
That is exactly what I was thinking, and he got very upset when I told him that. But nonetheless, I was really sketched out because he wanted my credit card, and the way that he accepted the payment for $300 was like on his phone using like a Square machine.
Okay.
Which made it seem sus, right? It's like, okay, well, it's not an official RCV thing. Yours maybe makes me think that you're thinking, well, this dude could potentially be very inept with this sort of thing, and therefore I can just say that it's a charge for it additionally,
Yeah.
and then just get an extra $300 on top of the thing. That's the pessimistic side of me, and then I was thinking that could be the case. So we went through and we really don't want, and it was very difficult to find, but it turned out no, it actually just is their policy of the $300 for that check. But why they need to make it so sketchy?
Yeah, I don't know. So if you're going to present a legitimate business or a legitimate system, make it look legitimate.
Literally. I'm like, so I pay with my credit card, so in the event that it turned out that it wasn't legitimate, then I could just cancel it.
Yeah.
But it was, so I'm like, I gotta pay it now. Damn. But yeah, that was me. And who bogged
Fucking up the car.
the car? Oh, no, not bogged the car. Recovery jobbed the car.
You put the
Beached
car,
the car.
in danger.
I'm so glad that it happened.
Why?
Because I had an event on, and I didn't really know many people there, and I had no topics of conversation.
And you're like, I need to get out of
This
this.
happened. No, this happened. It was all fixed up, it was all sorted. Then an immediate, boom, topic of conversation with everyone. So I paid
Nice.
300.
Oh, good. So you weren't trying to use it as a way to get out of it. You're like, hey, now I can actually talk about this. Like, hey, were you late to this event? Is that
No.
why? No? Oh.
No, I was late. I didn't even make it to the golf in the morning.
Oh, right. So you were beyond late. You just didn't go.
That was to golf.
Yeah.
For the wedding I made it to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To the event.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's that. There was so for everyone, the podcast doesn't know about it. It's just that Barnzey was thinking that this was some woman's fault. No,
Yeah.
it was me. I was the one who crashed the car and broke it.
You can pass for a woman.
I am the most masculine figure that I've ever seen. Thank you very much. It's insulting. It's upsetting.
It's like, I will not be tolerating any more further comments.
I don't think I will. So,
Alright, that's good.
yeah, that's that. When we get pictures up, you can see my failure.
Mm-hmm.
No damage to the car.
That's good.
On the top of it. On the bottom of it,
Yeah, maybe a
who
bit.
knows?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Mm.
No. Yeah, see, I've had my fair share of car accidents. Sometimes my fault, sometimes not.
Are they always your fault?
I think the score is even.
Score is even?
The score is even. Depends who you ask. The score is even.
Yep.
If you ask me, I say none of my fault.
I like that.
Even though.
My fault doesn't matter. Not my fault. Oh man. No, I'm aware of your
Car
driving track
accidents.
record.
No, look, it's not all bad.
You got into a major accident yesterday. You're like, I got a flat tire.
Oh yeah, that's right. That one didn't even register in the counter. Fuck, I guess they're all me.
That's right.
Nah, see, no, but no, I knew what to do, how to change it. You know, I
Okay.
don't know if I told you, my sister actually pulled up. She just happened to be in the area.
Yes.
Yeah, and she goes, "Oh, like I know what to do. I just panic anyway." And I'm like, "That's mum." So knowing what to do, dad's side. Panicking anyway, mum's side.
Yeah.
It's like the worst of like. It's like it's.
Well, what
It's like,
knowing
I know
what to do
I
is a
just
good
don't know what
point.
to do.
Yeah.
It's just she still gets stressed, but she has no reason to. She knows what to do,
Yeah.
but she'll still doubt it. So while she was telling me this, and I was like, "Yep, look, I just know what to do. Get on with it." That's dad's side.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, she stood there. She watched. Talked shit with Liam, who was also there. He provided the jack to fix the car because I foolishly left mine at home after the previous car incident, which
Oh my god.
wasn't my was my fault. The score settler.
Yep.
And then, long story short, the car had to be repaired, so I emptied out everything valuable in the car. That included the car jack, and I couldn't change the tire without the car jack, so that set that entire list of events in motion.
Right.
Not much interesting to talk about for the podcast, so I'm going to move on and then do something completely meta. We're going to talk about the podcast on the podcast, which normally is forbidden. Not forbidden. Discouraged.
Taboo?
Yeah, kind of. But since this is the first episode of this year,
It is.
it is. There's heaps to discuss. So, more or less reviewing the podcast, because you were on there from basically the beginning.
Yeah, I think so.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recorded, I think, late February or early March last year.
Wow.
That's how long we've been doing this.
Okay.
Since then, you can physically see the upgrades.
Yeah.
And before that, it was literally like facing back and forth like this with like a fold-out table.
Yeah, that was when it was audio only too.
Yeah. And that's when set design didn't matter. That's when having enough space in the camera didn't matter. That's when squeaky microphones. We literally didn't even have these microphones here like this. It was...
We did have them, and I would always talk like this, and you'll get upset with me about it.
Yeah, because... Well, I can fix that now as well because of how it's recorded.
Okay.
Yeah. So, basically, I want to review just shit that's been going on the podcast. Because you're an avid listener. You're one of the biggest fans.
I listen. I dabble occasionally.
Yeah. So, Moss dropped off from listening.
Really?
Basically because he was in the episodes less and less. Like,
Really?
Yeah. He would like legitimately pretty much only listen for him.
I don't listen to my own episodes.
Really?
No.
That's funny. He does the opposite. Why don't you listen to your own episodes?
I was there.
Well, yeah, but you leave enough time to forget what happened in the conversation.
It's just not preference. Don't like listening to myself that much.
See, I didn't either, but the more and more I did it, the more I got used to it.
Fair.
So now it's no longer even an issue.
Well, when was the last time Moss was on the podcast?
2 episodes ago apologizing for blackface.
Oh yeah, the blackface. I was one of the people that pointed that out.
Yeah,
I was like, that's just... Like, all right, check out this podcast. I'm like, you got to see this, man. It's just blackface.
At the time, we didn't. But it's so funny looking back going, yeah, it looks like it.
I may have messed up this thing.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
I'll have to remember to, like, cause I'll break up the video footage, and I'll know at that point to go back and make sure that it's good.
But yeah, because the rest of the costume that he had on
Yeah.
was very good. Granted.
Yeah.
It's just
Balaclava.
the afro and the balaclava
Yes.
was the blackface.
We've got a new balaclava. When he's on next, it's slightly different design.
Okay.
No spoilers, but it makes it better.
Yeah, okay.
What about your anonymity? I just try to say it slow so I can get the word out correctly. Anonymity?
Anonymity?
Anonymity. I can't fucking say it. Say the word.
You sound like that dude from Finding Nemo.
Yeah, but
Nemo.
I know he says anonymity, so it's...
Anonymity.
Anonymity. Hang on. See, my mum can't say Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
She can't say it.
What does she say?
Vietnamese.
That is adorable.
She can't do it.
That is very adorable.
She also cannot say phenomenon.
Phenomenon?
Yep.
What does she say?
Phenomenon.
Oh.
No matter how many times we try and get her to say it, phenomenon, and what was the other one?
Vietnamese?
Vietnamese. Can't do it.
Okay.
No matter, like, even if we break it down syllable by syllable, get her to repeat it. Vietnamese. She goes, Vietnamese.
So it's like that thing with that template from Friends.
Exactly the same.
Okay.
It's just real. So yeah.
So like, so even say v et na me e z.
Yep.
Vietnamese.
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 Yep.
I'm trying to like to say it wrong.
Yep. You're gonna forget what the real word is.
Vietnamese. I know it's that. I'm trying to say the incorrect one.
Vietnamese.
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 That's how you remember
Vietnamese.
it. Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Just can't do it.
What is it? See if there's a way to say Viet Cong, but like with that same incorrect pronunciation.
Viet Cang.
Viet Cang. Huh?
Just completely wrong.
Yeah. No.
No, there isn't.
Okay. That's
so what?
Interesting.
Anonymity. I can't. What is it? Anonymity.
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 Oh my god.
Say it again. Break it down. Let's do it. It's the exact same thing. See, you can't even say it.
No, I can't say it. I can't sound it out. Anonymity is the word. Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. So I think I get confused with the anon part
That's
of
fair.
anonymous.
It's a tongue twister.
Anonymity.
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 Okay, there you go.
Good. Okay. So
Sick of saying it.
okay. Yeah. So am I. It doesn't even sound like a word anymore.
Okay.
So
Anonymity.
Your anonymity.
No, there's a place called Anonymity.
I'm not going to learn that one.
Okay.
I refuse. It doesn't exist to me.
Okay.
All the people there don't exist. Not
Reasonable.
real. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So your
Non-disclosure.
Yeah, your non-disclosure agreement.
You didn't say just non-disclosure.
Your non-disclosure. How have you found that? Like, do you think it gives you more freedom to be presentable in the way that you like to be? Because obviously everything we do is satire and performance.
Mm-hmm.
This feeds into that.
Yeah.
So have you found it's a good choice?
I think so. A lot of things can be taken out of context, which for you doesn't matter as much, I don't think, because...
Well, it's because I'm a performer, in a sense. Yeah.
Right.
And everyone else not everyone else, but most of the people that I bring on...
Are not.
Exactly. So it's like a way, I guess, as a safeguard, even if it's not necessary.
Yeah.
We're still just mates, and we still have this conversation regularly anyway. It's just a matter of turning on the cameras.
Exactly.
I know I've asked you a question and filled in your answers, and you just agree, but you haven't really been able to answer the question.
What am I going to say? You're right. Like, I suppose it gives... I suppose it means I can be more likely to say satirical things that I find funny.
Yes. But a lot of people don't. So, actually, I don't know if we've ever discussed, for like the first almost year of being friends, was never really sure when you were joking or not.
No, I know.
For the longest time. And
Pretty great.
I guess that helped solidify the friendship.
Yeah, I would say so. You're like, is he joking now? It's the same tone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of The problem is that it was a lot. Not even problem. It was a solution. No.
Yeah.
The
final solution.
That's right. Everyone would say progressively more horrific shit as like a game of chicken to see when someone be like, okay,
There's a very particular instance I'm thinking of that I'm not going to bring up
good.
until we're on break, and you're going to go, good call.
Yeah. And it was just a sort of game of chicken there, and
Incredibly incriminating stuff.
oh yeah, but no one would give in.
No.
For like years, like, well, I hate X race of people because obviously I think it's a fair enough thing to say, and then it's like, oh, and then it was like, oh yeah, totally, it's a complete out there, terrible, horrible thing to say, but everyone just satirically agrees because it's mutually like, and
that's the funny thing to do. Yeah, like it's also like not culture, but like that's how we grew up because we'll do this while playing games.
Sure.
Yeah, and people capitalize off this to like make YouTube videos. Like,
sure.
For example, I'm a big fan of the Misfits. Watched them for years. That's what their base model of gaining popularity was. They'd sit around, talk shit, say things you're not supposed to while playing games. Everyone, I guess, naturally does it. If you're sitting with a group of friends,
sure.
You're just bantering.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just take it too far sometimes.
Exactly. And it's like, no one knew who was joking about what. The only difference was that all of you knew each other.
To make yourself feel better?
All of you knew each other, so you all knew when each other was saying something legitimate or joking.
Incorrect. The Overwatch team, everyone knew everyone to the same level. That's how that started.
Right. I suppose I was more thinking of Moss and stuff.
Yes. But he has the same anonymity issues where he doesn't want to... Like, he wants to keep that barrier between real life and content life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I'll ask him the same sort of questions next time he's on.
Probably very similar answers that you answer.
More or less, yes.
That's right.
I only ask questions that I know the answers to already so that I don't waste my time.
Yeah.
This is a fact.
Fair enough. But yeah, long story short, TLDR, yeah, I prefer the anonymity.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah. So a few people that I've done this with don't care too much.
No.
Even people, so, like literally like Moss's face, I was even doing nicknames with Michael.
Sure.
And then like by the third appearance here, we're just like, fuck it, whatever. Even when I had Paul on, did you listen to those episodes?
Yes.
Yes. So I think because we're both coming from the same angle of content creation, I've done the podcast for about as long as he and I have both done stand-up.
Yep.
So we're able to banter more and do more back and forth, laugh at each other and shit, which is what I want to encourage more.
Sure.
With you and I, even with Darren and I, we're a lot more chilled out.
Sure.
Yeah, it happens. So the point that I was trying to make is that it'll come. It'll eventually come. This is foreshadowing for later. Eventually, his surname is going to be in there because he's a comedian as well.
Right.
People want to know who he is so they can just find out. Because just searching up Paul doesn't work.
No.
So
great movie, but
yes. Well, let's see the first time I ever brought him up on the podcast. Moss was like, oh, yeah, he's a little, like, we just kept referring to him as like the little grey alien.
Yeah.
I told him that. He thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the podcast itself, having more interactions between the people that come on more regularly, I think that's a good idea.
What kind of more interactions?
So, do you remember the first time that I had you and Moss on at the same time?
Vaguely.
It was you and I sat opposite, and I think we planned a heist. I think that's illegal.
Could be heisting our own thing.
Yeah, we actually said like a month from now we're gonna all plan individual heists and compare as like a way to set up future episodes.
Okay.
Never happened.
Sure.
It actually could happen on the episode because it's been weekly forever. On the episode a year from when that releases, that could be a future one.
Okay.
Even like just having, hey, here's a new type of layers of interactions. Like all the podcasts that I listen to, I'm looking at, okay, what do they do well? What can I do better? What can I do? What can I not do that's worse? And it seems to be having funny, like just talking shit. That works. This right now, we're not talking shit. We're just conversing.
Yes.
Do you think it's a comfort thing for when I bring people on like you that only have a couple of appearances? Because I know people change when they get on camera. Because I change when I get on stage.
Do I change when I get on camera?
I think you're more cautious.
Yeah. Oh my god, really? Oh.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Once you get comfortable, like even socially, I've known like maybe it's more for introverted people. Once you get comfortable, that's it. Like it goes way looser than extroverted people, where they're just loud.
Yeah.
Because that's how they are.
Yeah. Yes, there's a problem.
Not really. More like an obstacle.
An obstacle?
Well, we're past it, more or less.
Yes. Now, but speaking of, what I would like to know about is the rest of the agenda for the podcast, as I still do have a couple more notes.
So we're going to like jump back and forth between. I just wanted to, like, because we don't... I know you're trying to segue out, and you tried to find an out because it was more me talking and more you just going, yep.
I don't mind. If that's what you want to do, I'm good.
A little bit, because I found in the episodes where I bring new people, like Moss, for example, they'll just try and steamroll the conversation. Have you noticed that?
We can try and steamroll it.
No, Moss.
He will. With like movie reviews and stuff.
He'll try, yeah.
Yes.
With like everything. So in the early episodes when I was listening, I'd find that I don't speak very much. It's like, you know when you listen to Joe Rogan episodes, you listen for the guest.
Depends on who the guest is, but yeah.
So, more often than not, Joe just sits there like an interviewer. So
if it's Neil deGrasse Tyson,
If it's Neil deGrasse Tyson, yeah. So wasn't it, he sat there for like an hour trying to get shit in, and you could see him, like, there's...
Being visibly angry.
Yes. And it's not even people overanalyzing, just observing.
Yeah.
He gets angry.
It's fair.
Part of the, like, earlier models of what I wanted to do here when I'm talking to people who have something interesting to say, like the Sheldon episodes, for example.
Yep.
I'll sit here and ask questions, and I'll speak way, way less. But that's because I want these people to speak. For you and I, we can have conversations, but it's more of a multimedia presentation where we say, hey, have you looked at this? Like, we send each other fucking TikToks, like, 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Every day, more or less.
Yeah.
And we can do that here, but I don't want to do that here. I want this to be...
Give a PowerPoint presentation right here.
We can, yeah. Of what? Like, you gotta... Okay, you know what? Make a PowerPoint presentation of... Okay, within reason, anything.
What about the Windows Movie Maker where there was, like, the navy blue background and the white text?
Do anything, and I'll have it playing as of now.
That's a lot of work.
I know it's a lot of work. That's what I'm fucking saying. I have to do everything on this fucking podcast.
It's your podcast.
I know, that's the problem. This is a unique obstacle. Who thought that when said I wanted to do this, that I have to do everything about this?
It's not Barnzey and Friends burns down the world.
No, it's not. It's just me.
That's right.
I'm the only one being convicted.
That's right.
But no, look, it's okay. Is there any improvements that you think?
Any improvements?
Yeah. Or like, it could be like completely unfair criticism. So it'd be like, hey, your production value is very low. Spend more money on it.
It's not that bad. Like, it's, you know, you've got the green screen, you got the couches, you got the area, the microphones. I think you've got that. You got the lighting, separate lighting rings, the porn lights.
No wonder. No, it's not going to make much of a difference turning them off. No, actually, it would make a difference, but it would only be slightly, and it would only annoy me.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Because you get regular flashlights.
Yeah, just constantly.
That's right. But speaking of groups of friends who like to do things together, have you spoken much about the FTX stuff?
No, because I'm not informed enough to converse, and this is a topic where I'd bring you on, and I'd sit there and ask questions so that you could talk.
Well, I don't know that much about it myself, but the one from
well, then you're coming to the wrong person.
From a comedic standpoint, there's a lot of funny things about it. And the one thing which I mentioned to you already, but I'm going to mention for the podcast, is I was sick of hearing about FTX. So we're not going to discuss it like that because I'm also sick of it. Everyone.
It's also old news.
It's old news, sick of it. And it was on the news like a few days ago, and it was old news. And they were talking about it. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's on the background. I'm getting annoyed hearing it. But then I just overhear them say that, and it turns out that the FTX executives and boards and stuff literally just had a WhatsApp group titled Wire Fraud. And I was like, all right.
That's how I like to organize.
That's pretty funny.
I don't know, but you didn't understand. all professional criminals are organized.
By
That's
crime.
That is why it's called organized crime.
That's right. It's
Literally,
very
they have
organized
group-
crime.
They have group chats. Wire fraud. Human trafficking.
That's right.
Theft.
Theft.
Then there's big theft.
Big theft.
Big theft is the one that does all the heists.
And the wire fraud. It's just...
The wire fraud. Sometimes the group chats have to work together.
That's right.
You know, it's all part of organized crime.
Very intricate.
Which we know lots about.
That's right.
Since we participate in lots of organized crime.
Yes, of course. Opposed to the unorganized crime.
Yes. I'm not about that disorganization.
No. I'd only ever be a part of the organized stuff.
Yes.
I'm a stickler for the rules. That's why I go.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right.
I'm a stickler for the rules and order, which is why I'm a part of organized crime to break the law.
Yes.
Right. That makes sense.
It does make a lot
No,
of
it's totally
sense.
not an oxymoron.
No.
So, I thought that was pretty funny.
It is.
And so I'm just going to go to the notes just here,
Mm-hmm.
in which...
I'm gonna break the illusion of, hey, we're just recording a conversation to check the camera to see if just time and
Okay.
general maintenance. So what we're going to do is take a quick break, and we're going to get into some multimedia stuff
Shortly.
shortly. Yep. And then that's where we'll have, like, basically... I want to incorporate more breaks thanks to the European Mindset podcast. Like, those boys, the way they do it is they have to break for the camera. This camera can keep going, but it also helps as a social energy refresher.
We're really going to pee anyway.
Yeah, good. All right, so take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
And we're back.
Fantastic. So, you wanted to show me something before the break, and that was going to be what I wanted to show you. But
Yes.
now the tablet has charged, and I can show you on this
Okay.
on screen, and it will be up here too. So, don't worry. I'm hoping this actually leads to some content, and not us just being like, yes. Anyway,
Yes. Anyway.
I downloaded it so it wouldn't buffer. Why is it buffering?
Did you download the download?
I'll try that next. No, I'm kidding.
The Cars cinematic universe is the most insane thing Pixar will ever do. A few people have noticed that in the Planes movie we see a skyline of New York and there's no Twin Towers, which kind of hints at the fact that 9/11 happened. You're probably thinking they'd never touch on something that deals with religion like that, but that's untrue. They've very clearly shown that there's a car version of the Pope, and the fact that he's surrounded with bulletproof glass implies that they are worried about him being religiously assassinated. So if 9/11 happened, and I think it did, because look at the post-9/11 type airport security they deal with in Cars 2. If 9/11 happened, was there the war on terror? Surely they don't have wars in this universe. Wrong again. They have very clearly shown references to wars, and even wars that have happened in Planes. Also, there's a character in Cars 2 who is a World War II veteran. So there was a Hitler car who wanted to get rid of... what? What's weird is some of this stuff isn't even important to the story. They just chuck it in seemingly to freak us out. The Pope car was just a random cameo. You could have very easily not had that in there, and then I wouldn't be sitting here thinking, I wonder if any of these talking race cars are practicing Catholics.
So, given the fact that the Cars cinematic universe is so detailed, anything that happened in real life could have happened in Cars.
Yes.
Microphone. Fix the microphone.
Yes.
You can move the microphone. That
Movement.
there. Yes, yeah.
Have you seen that the film theory where it's like cars are like bugs?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, well, like
It's like the creature on the inside and the car is the shell.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty interesting how there was like World War II ones but the thing that confuses me about that is like with like the 9/11 stuff is that they were passenger planes, right?
Yeah.
So how do planes with passengers work?
The planes would have to be bigger to fit the space of a car.
But then does that mean there's equivalent being giants? So, for example, you can argue, oh, well, there's semi-trailers that would take stuff around, but that's different because the front of it's still kind of small.
I think we need a comparison side by side between like what, because there's a planes movie as well, same universe.
Okay.
So we need a side by side comparison of a car and a plane, and it should be to human scale.
Yeah, I want a commercial airliner car.
It would have to be really, really big. And that means the aircraft carriers would have to be even bigger.
Yes. Have you seen those boat things where it's like, it's one of those giant boats designed to tow those boats that tows boats? Sorry, not tows, but carries.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
You'd have to do one of those, I guess, or it'd be like one of those.
But
Is
it's a
that-
thing.
Yeah.
But do they not? Does every sort of vehicle have to have a personality? They're not have inventions.
Not necessarily. Does every single person you meet have a personality?
I don't see the relevance between the two.
It's the same thing.
Okay, of course.
It's the same because the cars are the people. Yeah.
Right.
So I was using the same logic that you were using, but talking about people, saying it's every person you meet have a personality. Clearly, the answer is no.
Well, I mean, like, in the Cars universe, could they not invent cars? Now, like, like when
The cars are people. You don't invent people.
No, but like, well, so like when you see like those like Boston Dynamic robots or something like that,
Yes.
and it's like, right, we've created a thing that does this stuff. It's a humanoid robot. Could they just create a car that to them is like an equivalent of that?
They could, but they haven't.
Interesting. Suppose that I don't know what the purpose would be.
And also, the vehicles that would fit the car, you wouldn't have to because they're cars. You don't put people in people. Not
Have you
really.
seen Meet Dave? That's right.
That is an obscure reference.
Well, it's an applicable one.
It's also one of the best comedy movies, just like how Cars is one of the best movies ever.
Cars, one of the best movies ever.
Cars is one of the best franchises
Absolutely. I think that is an accurate and fair statement based on an unbiased opinion and set of reviews from miscellaneous variety of people.
ever. There is a massive variety of people. Like, it may seem like a niche, but there are more people that think Cars is a masterpiece than you would believe.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I've not touched on the subject or really much thought about it, but
Well,
I guess
see,
I believe it.
It is a niche is still a niche. I think this is one that needs more recognition. If Cars got more recognition than it has, it would maybe come a little bit close to what it deserves. But it's such a good, like,
The National Films Archive.
yeah, I'm saying, like,
Shrek is in
preserve
the
that.
National Films Archive.
Yeah, is it really?
Yeah, in the US.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, actually, so when Shrek was being made, DreamWorks would send people who were working on The Prince of Egypt and something else to work on Shrek as punishment for fucking up whatever they did.
Really?
That's a real fact. So, I guess the production of Shrek was made by people who, I guess,
Didn't believe
thought
in
they
it.
were being, like they thought they were being punished, and look how well it turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, on par with Cars.
So the moral of the story is to punish people to get them to work better.
That is correct.
Right? I see.
Yes, but I do think Cars. So look, okay, what other historical events would be questionable in this? I gotta fix this squeak because that's happened twice now, and I hate it so much. What things could have happened in Cars like 9/11 and
Cars Jesus.
Cars
It has to be a
Jesus.
Cars Jesus
It
because
has
it's
to
a
be.
Cars Pope.
That is correct. You're right. There is it. So what is it like? Belly side up with the wheels stretched out, or like?
The wheels like punctured.
How do you crucify a car?
He was crucified.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I went straight to the death. I wasn't thinking about the life and shit and him like just like making miracles and that. No, I was just thinking, how do you crucify a car?
but then logically, what were the cars like 2,000 years beforehand? No traffic lights.
You're right. So maybe
No roads. I suppose the
well, if it's a
Romans had okay
mythology,
roads.
no. So maybe it wouldn't work out. But see, because you can argue about when humans are created or like what year, fucking whatever, doesn't matter.
Mm.
But cars, you know when they existed, and it's not as early back as the Pope car. So maybe the Pope car shouldn't be in the film.
You're saying that all the cars didn't come around until like the problem
Well, 'cause
is
that makes
that,
it harder to fix this problem.
but the infrastructure was older than was nearly as old as the invention, because there's that really old one where there's like the train tracks and stuff like that. That would have been before there was mass set of roads. Because in the first movie they are in that fucking-
Outback, just dirt roads and
Yeah.
shit. So the problem I'm trying to solve, if cars were invented in like what 1900s, right?
Sure.
Let's say that. The problem with that is that according to Christianity, life started in year zero, or a bit further back, but like
life.
not too far back.
Well, no, because year zero to Christians is the birth of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
There's still many stories in the Old Testament BC.
Actually, this is perfect. Finish your thought. I'm going to bring something up.
Well, this was just correcting you because you said that they thought that the humans were invented from the year zero, but that's
And then I fixed it. It's a little bit further back, but not too far back, because then it's blasphemous.
so. Fundamentalist Christians believe the Earth is it's either 4,000 or 6,000 years old,
Okay. I need you to keep talking.
and that is when the Earth was created. My God. In 7 days. Well, there's no sun, so I don't really... In 7... Whatever. 7 solstices? Solstices? I don't know. Anyway, what are you getting up there?
So I'm bringing up... So it's the new year, right? There's no illusion of... The time is an illusion, but there's no illusion of when this is being recorded. This is after New Year's. So on that day...
2022.
So now we're in 2023. The fact
No, we're in 2022.
Yeah, we are no longer in 2022.
I'm just trying to confuse your listeners. Continue.
Yeah, that's good. Well, it's like you, Moss, Daz, and me. Like, that's really it. So, as you know, each culture, or like, there's different versions of the calendar.
Mm.
So, like, we use...
The Gregorian?
Gregorian calendar. And I'm trying to find... Okay, so each different calendar has a different variation of what year it actually is.
Sure.
Okay. So I wanted to explore that a bit, but I can't find...
Like how it's like Ethiopia or something, where it's like 2011 or something over there.
Something like that.
North Korea, their year 0 is equivalent to, I think, the birth of Kim Il-sung. So the year in North Korea is currently like 156 or something.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
If you wanted to make it as I think it's like our first developed and discovered city, which makes it like the year 12,023.
So those are not the numbers that I've got here.
Those are not?
No, those
What
are
do you
not.
got?
So 2023 Gregorian calendar, pretty straightforward.
Sure.
Okay. The highest year that is on this graph is the Assyrian.
Mm-hmm.
6,771.
Okay.
They're way ahead of us.
They're way ahead of us.
So fucking far ahead of us.
The Syrians?
Yeah, they're 3 times older than we are, just because each year is 3 years, and that's how they ended up to 6,000 when we're another 2,000.
I know it's Assyrian, but I'm pretty sure.
I call it Assyrian.
I suppose you could, but
yes.
I want to know if like that's where actual Syria is now.
I don't know, actually.
All I know about Syria is that when looking up for different countries, the percentage of...
Sorry. Syria, you'll have a blast.
Yes, you will. Because of the property prices.
That's right.
The property prices in relation to income...
They're booming.
They are booming.
They are booming.
Higher... So, it's like it's like... I think it's like Canberra somewhere in Australia. Or somewhere in Australia. It's got like the second highest on this list. And then before... Just after this is Canada. But the highest property price in relation to income, I think, is Damascus, Syria.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so fucking good.
So it's like, I can't go to Damascus, can't afford it.
Yeah.
You'd think that everyone would just be keen to get rid of everything, but no.
No, it's not. People are blowing themselves up over this.
They are.
They are. But the next highest year is the Hebrews. The heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies?
Okay.
Okay. Yep, that's right.
Is the year 5,783. So they're not as advanced as the Assyrians.
But they're pretty up there.
Those are second. The second's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. You'd think there'd be more.
Well, the year's 5,000 for them, and global warming hit them very hard.
Yeah. I mean, they do this thing about like not being able to turn on the light in a certain period of time. I forget what it's called. I'm
Nighttime?
fucking it up. No. It's like they're not allowed to because God says no. Like their God.
Okay.
It's oh fuck! I've heard the name. It's a holiday, but no one's celebrating anything. They just can't use electricity.
Book.
Remember we were saying how sometimes you say racist things,
It's a Family Guy reference.
which has never been known for its racism.
That's right.
So the Chinese calendar says 4,720.
Okay.
This explains all the technological upgrades we've had recently.
That's right. Yep.
All thanks to China.
That's right.
The Julian calendar, a bit closer to home, 2,776. So I'm noticing that the 4 examples I've read out, the 100 digit is in the 700s for each of them, even though the 1,000 value is indifferent. So there has to be some way of some logical explanation as to why those 3 or 4 have all fit in like the same rough area, but we're in 2023.
Do you know what the first day/date is in the 20th century?
No.
So it's the 20th century. It's like the 1900s, I think. What the first day of that century is?
Monday.
No. Date.
The 1st of January.
What year?
You said 20th century.
20th century.
So I think it's 1900, isn't it?
It's not. So
wait, hang on. Beginning of the 21st century starts at 2000. Century's 100. 100 years ago is 1900. So how's it not?
So I was watching an episode of Jeopardy.
Okay.
And this was the question. All of them wrote, logically, January 1st, 1900. Fair enough. The answer was 1901. January 1st, 1901. Which I thought was really strange. I'm like, well then what about the year 1900? One, I'm not sure if it was a thing or not, because the way that it worked is it had been 12... What was it? I don't want to fuck it up, so I'm going to quickly just double... So if we
I'll keep going on about this.
Yeah, no, it's all... It'll take me a second to find. So why is it... So what is the first day of the 20th?
That would be a good upgrade to have for the podcast. Have a producer that can look this shit up so we can just focus on being the talent.
That's right. Totally. Talent. So, 1st of January 1901. Well, the period 1900 to 1999 is, of course, a century, as any period of 100 years. It is incorrect to label it as the 20th century, which began January 1st, 1901, and will end December 31st, 2000. Well, that doesn't explain why. So why the 20th century begins on that 20th century, right? Because it's 20 centuries after the year 1.
So that makes it the 20th.
So the 20th.
So what, the first 100 years was a write-off. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No. So that was the year 1.
Yep.
200 years later wasn't the year.
It'd be the first. So the first. No, but you see, from 0 to 100, that should have been the first century.
But that makes it sound like it's...
Why are we trying to do math right now? I'll just read out some numbers.
Yeah, okay, read out the numbers.
Okay, so Gregorian 2023, we already know this. Now we're going to get to some unevolved cult. That's racist. The Hindus, and still in 1944.
They're still in 1944.
That's
it's
what
crazy.
It says here, yeah. So, I don't know, I guess maybe
Should
time
warn 'em.
works slower. Maybe that's why they're more peaceful and less stressed, because time passes slower.
You don't know much about India, do you?
No, not a thing.
Okay.
Not a thing. Oh, no. I know that there is, there's 14 languages that they speak.
Okay, they are very peaceful as a country. They've never invaded anyone else. I don't think internally, but as a country,
Internally, they still need sewers.
I don't think it's getting a lot more developed. Like they're the most developed. So they're like
I have 2 direct sources that say no.
that say that India's not developed. Is
Yes.
it our Indian friends?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
the ones that came from there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they say, hey, guys, my nan lives in a slum.
Oh. Well, no,
I'll tell you which one it was that said that after.
I can guess.
You can guess, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I fucking hate that squeak. It would be funny if that squeak just wasn't even in the recording.
So to them, it's just you going insane.
No, it's just me going. It's just being angry.
Complaining out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's just be like one snap, and and it's like no one else hears it, but it's like that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So the Islamic calendar is in 1444. It's not that bad. 1444 sounds like a good year.
It was a good year.
Yeah. Crusades?
Which one? There was multiple crusades.
Yeah, so that's why I was just throwing a word out that had a period of time. Like, there's no crusades nowadays, but...
I don't know when I don't remember the specific years. I think one was in like 10 something. Oh no, that doesn't line up. I don't know.
1444. What important happened around the 1400s? I think nothing. It's a bit of a nothing century.
Well, it makes me...
Pirates?
Was it the start of the Renaissance? Because it was... I think it's after the Black Death.
Yeah. It might have been.
Okay.
Yeah, it's around there. The Persians are in 1401, so pretty close.
Okay.
A bit further back.
The Persian calendar?
All Persians. All Persians are in 1401.
Is it Iraq or Iran? I think it was Iraq that used to be called Persia.
What's the difference?
Well, I don't know which country it was, but they made their name worse. Persia's an awesome name.
Mm-hmm.
But they changed it to like Iraq or something, I think. Yeah. That's
Wouldn't know.
disappointing.
Are you thinking of Istanbul and Constantinople?
No, that's Turkey.
Okay. Didn't know. Had to clarify.
Fair enough.
And the French Revolutionary, those French people are right behind. They're in the year 230.
I thought that it was Napoleon who introduced the world to using the Gregorian calendar. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Well, he wasn't Canadian, was he? No.
No, he was
French. I thought he was French Canadian.
No, so he was from an island called Corsican. He was Corsican. I think it was the island of Corsica or something.
We were trying to nail and it can't say it. The anonymous word. Couldn't do it. Not gonna be able to do that one.
Bet. So the Corsican, he was Corsican, and the French or France took over that island.
Yep.
When he was young, so he was then able to move to France, and he went to a school in France and did all of his schooling and stuff, and then he became a very prominent military leader, and so forth, and then that's his tale.
That's the story of Napoleon.
That's right. The whole thing, perfectly detailed.
Yep.
But not Canadian. Technically, it's just French, but
Technically just
Corsican French.
Okay, cool. So those, I think there were more examples in the original one I was thinking of, but no, that's enough. I never even really considered other people.
At all?
No.
Wow, it's crazy.
No, and then I saw those calendars and I thought, yeah, that's right, I'm not the only one here.
Did other people do things?
Yes.
Do stuff? Yeah?
I do think some people go by different times.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, some people are still stuck in 1444, some people are in 6722.
Yeah, way out of the times.
Just-
God damn.
And it shows.
Yeah, those Assyrians, it's like no, actually, that's true. So it's like, there's that saying like, I don't know what World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and rocks and stuff. Right? That's a saying of some kind.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that the year 6003 is that, so therefore they are actually in those times, but insert racist comment about the destroyed infrastructure here. Thoughts?
Yeah,
Comments?
I think you've said you well put.
Excellent. So, all right then.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, was there more shit that you wanted to show me? Or have we exhausted our multimedia section of the podcast?
Maybe, I think so, because we've been discussing a lot of the stuff as it's been going along.
Mm-hmm.
And there was that one video that you ended up showing instead about the cars, leading to a lot of the discussions.
Didn't go anywhere.
Well, no, we were talking about the religion of different cars and...
Yeah. Well, I wanted to brainstorm more things that could have happened in the cars world just in history. So we don't have to go that very far. Just
the Viet car war.
just like cars
The Viet.
in the holes in the trees and
Yeah. Flat tires everywhere.
yeah, it's
War as hell.
yeah. That probably wasn't even that funny. I guess.
Well, you're laughing, so I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll just see if there's any notes, and we can always wrap it up shortly.
See, I watch other people do podcasts without the notes in this, and are they better for it?
I mean,
Because it just
It's
means
just
that
different.
we can't have a conversation without having to refer back to shit that was planned.
I suppose that's true. It depends. Like we'll get more to it as we go along. But the problem is that we always have very efficient conversations,
Yeah.
so it doesn't lead to much specific.
No, but maybe that's just how we talk.
I think so, but because these have been very, very efficient conversations, as everyone would agree. There's not been stuttering or slurring and miscommunication of constantly having to repeat different words we couldn't pronounce. This has
Not
been
once.
efficient communication.
Not once. We've never had to repeat anything.
Nope. So
Not a single time.
never had to repeat anything. We've never had to repeat anything.
Not a single time.
Never repeated anything.
Not once.
So I've got this article here.
Not a single time.
Nope. And it's the 2022 headlines of the year nominees, and I sent this to you.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'll just empty mind. Done. Let's go.
So-
Never heard of this.
These are the nominees, and these are real.
What are we doing?
These are actual real news headlines from 2022.
All right.
Okay?
You know what you should have done? You should have turned it into a game and gone, all right, you got to guess if it was real or not.
I can
The
do that.
reveal- The reveal at the end would have been, they're all real.
You know what? I will. I'm going to get some fake things up and some real things up. Top scientist admits space telescope image was actually a slice of chorizo.
Real.
Okay, well, I'll let you know the end. Man who paid $2.5 million for NFT of Jack Dorsey's first tweet set to lose almost $2.9 million.
True, NFTs were a scam.
Okay, maybe. Could be fake, could be real. But the next contender... Monkey that was flushed down toilet fed cocaine now has a boyfriend. Does this grammatically even make sense? Monkey that was flushed down toilet, comma, fed cocaine, now has a boyfriend. So the cocaine made it better?
It was just a detail, but you see, the headline's supposed to grab your attention, not detail the whole fucking thing. I know everything I need to know about this now to say that that's false.
Okay. The city of Ottawa wants to hear your garbage opinions.
False. No city wants to hear anyone's opinions. It's all fake. The government is a lie.
Maybe.
Everything's being controlled by further powers.
That's right. Because Chess World rocked by... Okay, this is an old art. So once again, this is throughout the year. So this is like a summary of the whole year top collated things. Is that a word? I don't know. Chess World rocked by rumors of anal beads and artificial intelligence.
We covered that one. So that has to be true.
Man wins legal right to be, quote, boring at work.
Is there more information about that one?
I can tell you about that one.
Let's hear it.
It was someone that was fired because it was in France or something, I think. But he basically said it shouldn't be legally required for me to go to like after work parties, or if I'm discriminated against, / not given promotions, or if I'm fired for not going to after work events, that should be not allowed. And he won that case.
Interesting. Because he was phrased it as this guy's boring because he doesn't want to socialize with people he just works with.
Yeah. But he's like, no, I just want to do my job, and if he's doing it, he shouldn't be discriminated against. And he won that.
Good. So no wonder he fucking won that. That's good.
10,000 bees joined protest in Chile. 7 police officers stung.
Only 7?
From 10,000 bees.
I was believing that until you said only 7. I reckon it's going to be more than that. Crime statistics show that despite only making up 50% of the population, 20% of the population, bees commit 50% of the crimes. You were sure I was going to say. That's a look on your face there.
I was like, oh, maybe. The whole racist Riddler thing going on. Okay. Calgary sculpture less likely to burn clothing now accepts text messages.
False.
I don't know what it means.
That's why I said false.
Started out as a fish. How did it end up like this?
That's stupid enough to say true.
Angry minion with no anus not related to humans after all, scientists conclude.
False. They're covering it up.
House prices soar in village set to disappear under the sea in the next 30 years.
True. People are idiots.
No. Mondrian, I believe that's a famous painter. Mondrian painting has been hanging upside down for 75 years.
I'd believe it. Art is subjective and stupid. All a scam.
Yeah, but it's like a Mona Lisa just like there,
it's just
upside down.
No,
it's like
subjective.
That's right.
It's up to your interpretation. If you think it's upside down, you're a psychopath. It's all the stats.
Well, I love this next one. Perth Museum naming poll chooses Perth Museum.
I believe it. I thought you were going to say like Perth. Like I was like, fuck, what was that boat? Boaty McBoatface.
Yeah,
right?
but all the people of Perth said Perth Museum. Is this that? They all voted for that. They're very, very efficient people, and productive people, and
they have to be. They're on the worst side of Australia.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
What are you associated with the WAs?
I know a couple.
And
I feel bad for WA. I want them to break away. I want them to be their own country.
No, fuck it. Split it down the middle.
That's what I'm saying. Are you suggesting to give them part of South Australia?
No, I'm saying split it the other way. Get rid of them.
Oh.
Vertical. Split vertical. Separate.
Well, and the Northern Territory. So I mean, so they'll get half the Northern Territory.
So we'll cut like this.
So we just have New South Wales, Victoria.
Get rid of the desert. All of it.
Okay.
Perth, desert wasteland.
Okay. Tasmania, desert wasteland.
Desert. They've got some mountain. Then they're on the
desert wasteland.
Side. Yeah.
Seal breaks into New Zealand home, traumatizes cat, and hangs out on couch.
Very funny. True.
Okay, how many of these are there? My God. How to murder your husband. Writer guilty of murdering her husband.
True. She warned us.
Yep, okay.
We just didn't see it.
Well, I think this is her name. Coffee urges staff to be positive, be precise, and not use Oxford commas. I don't know what that means.
I think that's a joke headline. I'm going to say false. Not real.
Well, curious cube-shaped hut on the moon was just another rock.
I reckon. Yep, true. I was going to say plausible. Not good enough. True or false?
Okay, let's see. One, two... Only two more. The National Park Service wants humans to stop licking this toad. Now, I like to think that's not a species, but one individual toad.
It's the
like
same one.
this toad,
Yep.
stop it. So,
True.
okay.
Based on previously established law in the podcast as well.
Well, similar to the previous. Otter trashes couple's holiday home, is sick on the carpet, and then falls asleep on the bed.
Sounds like a good night. True. So, what's my score?
Well, they're all true, and you said some
Oh my
false.
god,
No,
I had no idea.
It turns out there's a lot more, but I'm going to leave them.
It's like, I'm going to leave
Well,
them.
well, there is one thing here. It's just a great guy, and this is Jonathan the tortoise. Jonathan, the blind, gay, sex-crazed giant tortoise, is now the oldest to have ever lived.
I'm sorry, is he, you said gay?
And blind.
He's gay though?
And sex-crazed.
But he's gay?
That's just what this headline says. Maybe it's a fake headline. It's a real headline. Good tortoise.
Yeah.
So, what now?
I don't know. We can try to come up with one topic organically, if you want to sit around. If not, we can call it quits.
One topic organically.
Yeah, I think we can manage that. Even if we revisit some of the old topics. Throughout the whole year. Really, because we touched on the review part of the show.
Well, sort of, but I want to quickly do another quick movie review sort of thing.
Okay.
So, Avatar 2 has been released.
Oh yeah, let's date this.
Avatar 2 was released, and it's The Way of the Water. It's a title, and the trailer in the back of the fucking DVD case or whatever. It's just a water Na'vi thing, whatever. But he's announced, right, he's made enough profit to warrant, and we're going to be making the next 3 movies. They've already filmed most of them, but they're going to do the editing is like the whole part of it. It's based on the Fire Na'vi, apparently.
The third one?
Yes.
So they're literally just doing Airbender.
It seems kind of.
So hang on, because if I remember correctly, the first new element that Aang learns is water.
Fire's the last. There's also ground.
But he still comes up against... So I didn't... Not a massive fan of Avatar.
Fair. No, it's not what it's about, really, but yeah.
But I do know some shit. And this is like a fight where he's fighting one of the Fire Nation dudes and he just like tricks the guy into destroying it. I think, is that when he's learning firebending and then he can't, so he learns Earth?
Yes.
Okay. So I was kind of right. And in the third movie, the Na'vi are going to get killed by the Fire Na'vi or fucking whatever. It's going to be...
The Fire Nation will attack.
Fire Nation are going to attack. They're going to go there.
That's right.
They have to.
Dude.
So...
There you go.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make is that they're just straight ripping it off at this point. And we know how the series is going to end.
Well, with the Avatar coming along.
The Avatar's going to come along.
Do you mind if I give a spoiler to the most unbelievable, unrealistic thing inside
You
Avatar
can tell me
2?
anything you want about the movie. I'll eventually watch it, but I don't care enough to hide secrets from it.
Okay, it's got all this futuristic stuff. Fair enough. But there's
Let me guess, they have iPads.
Well, yes. But there's these like intelligent alien whales, right? And they hunt them, and it turns out that they just pull this liquid out of their brain. It's like a small vial's worth, and that just halts the aging process indefinitely in people, right? So they've flown out to this alien planet to get it and then harvest it, and they throw the rest of the animal away because they don't want it. It's smarter than humans and XYZ, and like they are properly sentient. Now he says, we're holding this thing here. They've gone through this whole thing of going to war with these giant things, with the inventions. They've cloned people and uploaded their memories so that then they can become avatars anytime they die afterwards. It's a whole altered carbon level stuff. And he says, see this little vial here is an Australian guy. See this little vial right here, this is worth $80 million. And I'm like, hold on. What year is it that you can have all this inflation of a standard between the 2% between every single year, and that is not very much money relative to what it is to go to a different planet and do all this and then send it back waiting 10 years? No, $80 million.
No.
It's like the year 3000. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a lot of money. I'm not saying $80 million is not a lot of money, but relative to what it is, it's like fly to the sun and get me a sample. Like, and I'll give you,
an example.
$20 million. That's nothing.
No.
And this is times 4. This would be thousands and thousands of years. Very different. Just that was out of everything that went on, that was the most unrealistic part of Avatar. The fiscal policies involved don't make any sense.
Of course, you're sitting there thinking of shit like this, but like, no, that's good.
No.
Everyone that I've spoken to about the movie hasn't even mentioned it. They're all part of the system.
They are. It's
They're all part of big inflation.
Big inflation?
Big inflation.
They're a part of big inflation? Oh my god. Well, it's a fine movie.
Yeah. Look, I'm sure it's good. Look, barely many people remembered anything about the first Avatar movie. It just made a lot of money.
Yeah.
People pretended to be, I guess...
Amazed.
Well, not amazed. No. But it's more like, yeah, I was part of the original fan base. I liked the first movie when Avatar 2 was announced. All liars. No one ever liked the first Avatar movie. Everyone just happened to see it. Not even the director, James Cameron, liked the first Avatar movie. He's
really?
like, this is a quote word for word from him. It's like, I'm just not happy with the first one. Personally, I think it's terrible, but I'm going to fix this by making another 4 movies. So you watch out for those, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
That's right.
Word for word, James Cameron, 2010.
Sounds exactly like him.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So
yeah, I'll watch Avatar eventually.
Give it a go.
Yeah. All right, good. I think we've ran 4.
Also, if you weren't wearing them, you should have been wearing 3D glasses this whole time, as this podcast is in 3D.
Oh, right, yes, of course. We should have put a disclaimer at the start.
But we didn't.
I guess you just have to go back and watch the episode again.
That's right.
Full effect. Maximum. That's the only way to enjoy it, really. Otherwise, it's just a mess. That's
right. It's blurred nonsense without it.
Yeah. Yes, it's that, but I'll just like unblur just the eyebrow there. It's going to be, I'm not going to do that. That's a lot of work.
Well, it's why being so blurry, because you haven't been wearing the 3D glasses.
Of course, yeah. So go back and it only works if you refresh the page.
That's right.
Yeah. Restart. And if you're on Spotify, then fuck it. Delete your account and put it back on, and then go watch another episode of Barnzey Burns Down the World.
Okay. See you next time.
That's it. Yeah, the podcast is done. Go home. You got better things to do.